Hey guys, Supertecnoboff here, and I'm here with a What's in My Dock video. This is version 2.0 of the What's in My Dock series. You can check out version 1.0, there'll be a link in the description. If you haven't seen that already, go and check that out, and it's quite cool. So, since I made the very first What's in My Dock video, loads of people often ask me, well, what's in my dock? They ask me about the applications that they see in my dock. Because every now and then it does change, and I do get new applications and remove older ones and so on. And some people are quite interested to know what some of them do. So I like to make the What's in My Dock series. Well, this is version 2.0, and let's get started. So first of all, we've got Finder, obviously, all Mac users have that. Then we've got Mail, I use this for checking my mail, Gmail and MobileMe, stuff like that. Safari, great web browser. I would certainly recommend it to anyone on Mac or PC. And I just love using Safari. It's just really quick. It handles multiple tabs really well, and I just love it. It's a great browser. Then the next two main ones are iChat and FaceTime. I use this with chatting with my family and friends, which is quite nice. The quality of the video on these applications is also very good as well. I use iChat more, I must say, but FaceTime I like to use sometimes as well. Then we've got iTunes. I use this for all my media, so I've got all my music, I've got all my iOS applications on iTunes, and I've got lots of podcasts and things like that, and movies as well. And I've got them all from the iTunes Store, great quality, I love it. Then we've got Mac App Store, brilliant application. I use this a lot actually, quite regularly, because I want to make sure all my Mac applications are up to date. I also use this obviously to, well, find different Mac applications I might be interested in. I also got this a little while ago to get Mac OS 10 Lion, and very good. I was very happy with the purchase. That was nice. Yeah, so that's Mac App Store there. Then we've got Time Machine. I do back up my Mac. Well, I must say, sometimes, I mean, recently I've been a bit lazy. If you see in my menu bar here, it's got a little kind of exclamation mark, and that means I haven't backed up in a little while. I need to back it up, but I do tend to generally back up my Mac at least once a week or that kind of thing. So, and sometimes I like to restore files, so just clicking this icon here gives me a really quick access to Time Machine. Then we've got System Preferences. It's very simple, just edit settings on my Mac. Then we've got CyberDock. This is a FTP client, and I use this for uploading my website and updating my website on my server. So this is very good for that. Then we've got iWeb. I use this for making my website. I also, when it comes to making my website, though, I don't just use iWeb because I find with design you can make actually very good looking websites in iWeb. But I also use a combination of Coda as well, and that's good for JavaScript and HTML editing. Next to that, we've got Pixelmator. Very useful and fantastic vector and photo editing application. It's basically just like a simplified Photoshop CS5, right? But very simplified, but it's still very powerful. It's got some fantastic features. It's very easy to use. It's very quick to load, so I just love Pixelmator. It's a great application. I use it a lot of the time when I want to edit photos and vector images for my iOS applications and Mac applications. It's a very important application to me. So that's very good, Pixelmator. Then we've got another application which I absolutely love, and I've got this very recently, and it's called AppViz2. So AppViz2 is a fantastic application for any iOS and Mac developer, right? Basically, it's like another portal to iTunes Connect. But unlike iTunes Connect, AppViz2 actually downloads all your reports and stores them. So hence you can see the total amount of downloads you've ever got. You can see the total amount of iAds and sales of revenue you've ever generated, ever. There's not like a limit to, like, let's say 1 year. No. Whenever you've generated, it shows you all of them. And I think AppViz2 is actually better than Apple's iTunes Connect. And I'll give you an example. Apple's iTunes Connect, you can't see the total amount of downloads of an application. That's just annoying. Why can't you do that? You can do that with your YouTube videos on YouTube. You can that is just so annoying how you can't get access to the totals on iTunes Connect. You can download the reports in like a CSV file, and that's fine. I suppose you could then use them there. But what's the point? Why can't I just show you total downloads? Then other things like ad revenue, it's kind of annoying because it's only limited to 1 year. So after a year, you can't see the total amount of money you've ever made. So that's a bit annoying. But AppViz2 handles all of these kind of reports perfectly. It also shows you your reviews for all your applications, so you can see the iTunes reviews, what people have, what people think, their reviews, their thoughts, and so on. So that's really cool. So in fact, I'm going to put a link to AppViz2 in the description box of this video because I love this application and I would certainly recommend it to any iOS and Mac developer. Here in the UK, I got it for about £25, but the equivalent price in the US is $49, I think, something like that. So that's AppViz2. Then we've got Xcode. This is by far the most used application on my Mac, and I use this for making Mac and iOS applications. Then we've got iOS Simulator, which I use for testing my iOS applications. Dashcode for making widgets, which I have available on my website for download. There'll be a link below. Great application, Dashcode. I really love it. It's great for making widgets. It's very easy to use. It does require a bit of JavaScript knowledge, I must admit. It took me a little while to get going with Dashcode, but now I'm quite used to it. I like it a lot. It's very good. And then we've got ScreenFlow. This isn't actually meant to be in my dock. It's just here because I'm using it right now. Then we've got my 2 stacks. I used to have 3, but now just 2. And 2 of the stacks here is iWork 09. I use iWork a lot, so it's great to have iWork here. And downloads, I'm not going to show you because I've got private files and things, but just all my latest downloads and so on in this stack. And then the trash can, obviously. Now, since the introduction of Lion, one reason why I got rid of the application stack here is simply because I can use Launchpad. And some people ask me, why don't I have the Launchpad and Mission Control icons here? Well, the reason for that is you can simply use gestures on macOS 10 Lion. So to use Mission Control, you swipe up with 4 fingers, like so, and then back down when you're done. And then Launchpad, it's a bit tricky, but if you just, yeah, there we go. It's a 5-finger swipe, and if you swipe your fingers together, then it opens Launchpad. So Launchpad is, I love using Launchpad, as you can see here. It's got all my different applications for my Mac. Oh, is it just, okay. But yeah, I got great access to all my applications, and I think it's a lot better viewing your applications like this than it was viewing them in a little stack here. So I love using Launchpad, so that's why I got rid of my applications stack here. Well, there we have it, guys. That is the What's in My Dock version 2.0. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more tech videos. Bye.